Ah!
You can only save one!
But I love them both!
Choose one or they both die!
No!
Wait, I thought this was a Titan video.
Yeah, but this thing's expensive.
Oh.
Today we're going to be covering my top items made by Titan Fitness. Now this is not a Titan-only full gym build video. Not that that's a bad topic idea. It would probably be pretty popular, so it's something I'll pursue in the future so I can milk the system for more ad revenue, but it's not the topic for this video. We're going to be highlighting the top items that I've reviewed and abused on this channel just in time for the holiday season. Okay, sure, Titan can be hit or miss, but I think they make some good stuff, and I think they do a very good job of keeping other companies honest in pricing. I know that they're imported and their quality control and packaging can be, how do I politely say, absolute shit? But they have an important place in the home gym world. Without them, many of us wouldn't be able to afford or expand our home gyms as much as we have. And for that, we celebrate them in this video. Now, if you're a lover and defender of Titan, I am warning you, I might upset you at times, and I'm sorry for that, but not really. I figured I've bullied them so much for their shortcomings that I needed to make this video before they banned me from buying from them. Now, I'm not saying this is an exhaustive list. Titan makes a lot of good and bad products, many of which we've covered on this channel. But rather than be repetitive and cover a lot of the items that you seem to see copied and pasted between every video and website on the internet, I've cut this list down from just over 30 to 14. And now for the disclaimer. Warning, Titan Fitness is a distributor of equipment that mostly comes from China. Their quality control can be absolutely horrendous. I hope you enjoy arguing with customer service. They copy other companies' ideas. Not that anybody else does that, but I mean identical. The build quality probably isn't something you'll be bragging about. Believe me, never buy version 1. Wait for version 2. Good luck. But it's not all bad. They have a cool name and sometimes even get the logo right. Probably the best thing about Titan is their pricing. Now they're a budget company, but versus similar budget companies, oftentimes Titan's quality is much higher. Believe me, there's a lot of crap out there. And when they have something in stock, their shipping is actually pretty quick. Speaking of shipping, it's free, which there's no such thing, but I needed something else nice to say about them. So let's get started on those items. Let's start with the boring stuff. Listen, I love Rogue, but there's no point in spending if people online can't see how cool you are without that R. From Titan, you can get a 4-pack of 11.5-inch tall weight horns for $80 shipped, and a 2-pack of short 5-inch weight horns for $40. There's nothing funny here, if you even find this channel funny anyway. They literally just hold your plates. And since the fancy ones I also own, which are from Rogue, these ones don't have the R marked in them anyway, I'm not sure the point of paying more. From there, I'd look at the wall-mounted 6 barbell gun rack. It saves me 40% over Rogue and does what it's supposed to do, holds barbells. Though admittedly, Rogue does have the R cut into there, so I only use my Titan one in the corners of my gym off camera because that T doesn't have the same clout. From there, I'd look at the 3 barbell vertical hanger. I mean, it saves you $20 and it just holds my bars. Now mine's mounted to my wall, not my rack, so just check your rack specs first if that's your plan. That way you know if you have to swap out any hardware or drill any holes in the holder. Now, Titan makes a ton of storage options, and personally, it's not an area I typically want to really overspend because it's just holding my stuff, and it works pretty well. Next, I take a look at their Titan Roller J-Cups. I've had these for a long time, and I use and abuse them in every single workout without issue. They make these in 3 different variations for 2x3 or 3x3 racks. Considering the alternatives are often 3 times or more expensive, I recommend taking a look at them. Now this is definitely one of their better products and I'm really glad I bought them, and you can check out our full review of them on our channel. If you're like me and you use your Landmine because you remember you have one after tripping over it and you think, I should probably clean the spider webs out of this thing and use it, well, Titan makes a lot of really good budget options for attachments. For the price, the ones I've used are surprisingly well made. I guess we'll call this numbers 5 through 7, but there's a lot of options here, so it's really more of a category. And we'll start with the Viking press attachment, which admittedly has been the butt end of a lot of jokes on this channel, but that's not its fault. It just doesn't match my training style, and my dreams of being big and strong like Eddie Hall, they died a long time ago, but that didn't stop me from buying it. Sure, it's awkward, but so is watching this channel sometimes. Overall, it's well made and a bargain, and even if I use it 10 times in my lifetime, I won't feel like I wasted much money, which I suppose is true about all of Titan's good equipment. From there, you can look at their straight Landmine handle, or any variation of their Landmine handles. For $30 shipped, I can't imagine there's much profit there, but insert communist China joke here. From there, I'd look at the fat grip parallel handle. Okay, sure, I can invert my triangle V handle, or rogue triangle if I'm trying to impress the boys, or just use a towel, but if you don't want to pay double, it's a pretty good alternative. Next, I'd take a look at their power rack attachments. Now, I'm not advocating for all of their rack attachments. There's a time and a place for Titan, and I'm not sure it's on my monoliths or my lever arms, but I've owned a lot of their attachments, and for the most part, I've been pretty happy with them. I would take a look at their wide dip attachment. Now, I've made a lot of comments on Titan's weld quality, but I've dipped 3 plates on this thing, and I'm still alive and well, so I wouldn't worry too much. There's variations for a lot of different size racks, and they all run right about $100. I also think their spotter arms are a pretty good bargain. Again, they're made in different size configurations based on your size and style of rack, and I really liked mine. I thought they were pretty good quality, especially for the price, and I used mine until I got these, which you can't see because they're holding up the table. I got these for essentially free. Just like with the roller J-cups, and in general with Titan for compatibility with Rogue, things that only use one hole, like the dip attachment, tend to fit fine. Things that utilize 2 holes, like the roller J-cups, those might not line up perfectly because of the difference between that metric and imperial measurement system. Though with the spotter arms, it wasn't really a problem because the Rogue spotter arms don't have a safety pin anyway, so I never used them on my Titan ones. If I had to pick the most underrepresented item in a home gym, hands down, it would be rings. They're cheap and incredibly versatile, and you do not have to be a gymnast to use them. For months, they're all I've used for pull-ups because doing pull-ups on a straight bar hurts my shoulder, and all the boys will look at you when you do cool stuff on them. And isn't that the entire point of a home gym? Titan makes their wood rings in 2 sizes with a 1.5-inch unlabeled strap, a cam buckle system, and a 600-pound capacity. Dumbbell handles are another product where I don't think spending $500 on a set of these things is a necessity for most people, but every person and situation is different. And rather than spend a ton of time on these, I would say if you're interested, just check out our handle comparison video. Titan has 2 options and sizes at $100 for the longer handles and $90 for the shorter handles. And both sets are very good at that price point. For a lot of people, spending a lot of money on a specialty barbell that you're probably not going to use every session isn't always a logical choice. That's not to say I don't want a bench bar that costs over $500. I do, because nothing says you're strong like spending money, but I'm not strong and I've already spent all my money. So these are the specialty barbells that I've used and abused on this channel that I find to be a pretty good value. They're solid and versatile, if not always the prettiest option out there. And first, I'd look at Titan's Hex Trap Bar. This bar does such a good job at this price point that it makes it hard for me to recommend the bar that it's directly copying, which cost about $500 shipped. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Rogue, but that's a pretty big price difference to swallow for a lot of people. Now, it can add a lot of diversity to your training, but admittedly, mostly I just use mine as an accessory movement to my main deadlift. Now from there, I'd look at Titan's multi-grip bars. They make 3 different versions of straight multi-grip bars, which you can choose based on your preference, and I enjoy multi-grip bars for the variety they can add to your workout while protecting your joints. Now the welds aren't pretty and the sticker might be missing a letter, but if you don't want to drop a car payment or 2, it's a pretty good place to look. Now from there, I'd look at their multi-grip cambered bar, and really the question there becomes, do you want that camber or not? At its simplest, the center section allows for a greater range of motion when benching, and with that design, you can flip the bar over and use that 2-inch camber like it's a 1-board press. Now, that's the basics of cambered bars, but there is obviously more to it than that. Now, the specs on that thing, like the finish and the knurling, that's going to be pretty much the same as this bar, but the one thing I'd say you should really look out for is the fit on this bar. This is 40.25 inches, and if you have a more narrow rack like a PR4000 or PR5000, that's a 41-inch interior. That's going to be a pretty tight fit. If you want to look good because you lift, not because of what you're lifting with, Titan can be a good budget option. Now, I know they're not perfect. Well, actually, that's a bit generous. They've got their problems, but for the budget-minded home gym owner, they are worth a look. I hope this video is helpful. I'll see you next week.